Welcome back. Juan Williams said it means something has gone terribly wrong in society. Lou Dobbs says it's part of society dissolving around us. Doug Schoen says it could undermine our social order. These Fox News commentators can only be talking bravely about one thing: climate change science. No, I'm just kidding. Why worry about that? They're talking about a new study from Pew Research saying women are the sole or primary breadwinners in 40% of American households with children, nearly 4 times higher than the 1960s. So on Lou Dobbs' show, he and his all-male panel lamented how we're all going to hell in a handbag. Here is the very thoughtful Eric Erickson's well-thought-out, sensitive, suitable for Fox contribution.
When you look at biology, look at the natural world, the roles of a male and a female in society and other animals, the male typically is the dominant role. We as people in a smart society have lost the ability to have complementary relationships in nuclear families, and it's tearing us apart.
In other words, Mommy, please stop working to earn money to buy us food. Well, we're here to talk about this, and I've got 3 accomplished symptoms of society's downfall. Comedian Lizz Winstead, author of Liz Free or Die; L. Joy Williams, president of the Brooklyn NAACP and host of TWIB in the Morning; and Tina Dupuy, syndicated columnist and editor-in-chief at thecontributor.com. I thought only appropriate, since they have a bunch of guys talking about women's issues, to have a bunch of women talking about guys talking about women's issues. Lizz Winstead, let me start with you. Apparently, the noted scholar Eric Erickson just went on the radio today and doubled down on his dumbing down. Among other things, he said children in 2-parent heterosexual households have a more stable upbringing and a better chance of success than in single-parent or gay households, and best of all, offered no data to prove it. What do you think?
Data? Who needs data? You know, women are tearing apart the family by working to feed the family.
Exactly.
Or something. Like, why are these people even let on television?
Because it's Fox and it works for their audience. But isn't this what's really hurting the GOP, this male 1960s Mad Men attitude?
Well,
it's
listen,
like been frozen in amber.
I have news for you. I have something even more detrimental to our society. Idiotic men.
Thank you. Yes.
That is what the downfall of our society is going to be, because they continue to have the power, and that's why we're trying to take it from them.
You're exactly right. I mean, Tina, they're saying having working moms hurts children, you know, with paying the mortgage.
Which is, there have been actual studies, you know, people who are like scientists and stuff who do data crunching, and what they have found that it doesn't matter if there are 2 parents. It doesn't matter if the woman is making more money than the husband. It doesn't matter. It matters that you love your child, period. So, but what their outrage is ridiculous. It's like they would have the same kind of outrage if 40% of women were going and robbing banks. I mean, this is not exactly moral decay. This is women going and working. And the buried lead in this whole story is that women are still making less. Yes, we're breadwinners, but we are making less.
I was shocked that Fox News didn't mention that. So why are these guys still doing this? Haven't conservatives figured out yet what it looks like when you got a bunch of men sitting around talking about women's issues?
No, what I've said this over and over again, but I feel like what we're witnessing is desperate men who are grasping at their last shards of power because we simply want a seat at the table. We want to explore all of our options, people of color, women, and this is how they behave when they feel threatened by people actually asking for their rightful seat in society. And this should be a note to everybody that if this is how you behave when people are simply asking to share the power, how when we actually get in, what it's really like.
And this is consistent with, you know, we see a number of these studies, we see more, you know, it's more people of color who are voting. You saw recently about there were more African Americans who voted than whites recently. And the kind of conversations that they're having on Fox in these arguments is basically continuing to stoke the fear that people have as if their place in society is being worn away. And so those people who are currently unemployed, who may be fearful still of there are more minorities, and now the women are coming, you know,
But you make a great point.
Apart.
So whether it's evil or not, whether it's true or not, does it work?
It does, and it continues to show that fear. Because remember, first it was the gays who were destroying marriage, right? And so now it's women who are making money and have this control of their household. No one is talking about the personal responsibility it may be of why marriages are failing. You know, sort of individual personal responsibility.
But you make it a fantastic point, and there have been, again, studies about last place aversion. Why poor people vote Republican, and it's not because they think that someday that they're going to be rich, that they're actually afraid of the people that the government is going to help people below them, and then they're going to be the last person on the wrong.
Exactly right.
And so that's what this
and
is
that's
exactly.
class
this
warfare,
is what this
Fox
is.
News. Now, I do want to give Fox credit. They have created more jobs than any other corporation for completely fake bleach blondes. And I want to, acknowledge that. But the Pew study actually talks about two very different groups. 37% of the breadwinner moms are just married women with higher income than their husbands, which especially now would not be a problem for most of us. But 63% are single moms, and they have a much lower median income. Now, isn't that the real problem?
And that's what's interesting about the statistics of that, is that they immediately saw the danger of women controlling the money in their household or being the breadwinner, as opposed to seeing this trend of you have single moms who, I mean, and if they weren't working, who would be working? If you don't have them in the household, and where would their income or their shelter come from? And not think about what is it that those women need in order to continue to succeed so that their children can succeed. So I look at those numbers, and when the Census Bureau first came out with that, I look at those numbers and I'm saying, okay, we need to make sure that we have paid sick leave, because you have this only person who is responsible for the care and the upkeep. We need to make sure that there's longer daycare. We need to, all of those things that are needed in order for those households to succeed. Because Tina is right. It's not just having two parents, because you can have two parents and they work, but they're abusive and all of those things, which does not continue.
I want to say again, there's no data saying that a child who grows up with gay parents is at any disadvantage over a child with two heterosexual parents. I'll go along with saying, sure, it's better to have more grown-ups earning paychecks around for a child, absolutely. But again, it's another way of putting down single moms. Do conservative women buy this?
Well, I mean, I think that anybody who would like to see the roles that they are comfortable in and don't want to be challenged are going to find what they want in it.
Yeah.
Those of us who look at the world and see families of all different kinds who are succeeding and struggling, and don't blame the kind of family it is, but blame the kind of support we give all of our families, we look at this and go, you're crazy. Like, what are you talking about? There's a big investment. Eric Erickson says himself, he's got an advocacy website that is, they used to only, endorse anti-choice candidates. He has an agenda that is, one man, one woman, blah, 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 and that freight train of change is coming faster than they can even breathe, and they don't even know what to do. So I say suck on the tailpipe.
And at the end of the day, yeah, you're exactly right. And I still don't know if they even mean it, or if it's just a racket for them to get money or votes or support. We're almost out of time. Really quick, Tina, you get the last word. What lessons should be drawn from this study?
That we are no Iceland. I mean, they have the highest amount of single mothers, and they have a very, very low crime rate. So we need to do more as a society to help women and to help our families succeed.
You heard it here. We need more white people in America to be like Iceland.
That's right.
Okay, well, just to prove we don't automatically love every working woman, we're going to talk about Michelle Bachmann and how much I'm going to miss her right after the break. Welcome back. Quick question for my exquisite panel. What will you miss most about retiring Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann? Lizz Winstead?
Marcus.
Yeah. Yeah?
Not Marcus. I mean, I get all of my style tips from Marcus.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll miss him too, but we're near Chelsea. Eldroy?
I don't think I'm going to miss her that much, because I'm pretty sure she'll be around.
You think?
She may not be in Congress. That means I get to see her more on TV or random rallies or something.
She ain't getting the job on Fox. Tina Dupuy?
Marcus Dogg's sunglasses.
Okay, well, I'm glad to get your thoughts.